Did you build model cars as a kid?
I did build model cars as a kid. This is the biggest model car, right?
Snap together or like?
No, I used some glue. We can glue it together if you want.
This ain't nothing like that at all.
No.
This is long and painful. So what you're looking at now is about 200 hours of cleaning, being fidgety, little craptacular work. And that's considering we've already had all this stuff mounted once.
Yeah.
But we've got, hopefully somebody come and put the roof liner in the car. Probably we'll deal with glass ourselves. I don't know yet. We'll see on that one.
Yeah.
I hope Mr. Ivan comes and puts a roof liner in because I don't want to do that. That I'm not good at. I've done it many times, but I'm not good at it. They wrinkle. So hopefully he takes care of that. But then we've got AC. We've got wiring. The engine's done.
Engine's sort of done.
Engine's done.
Engine's done.
Ready to drop in a hole. We've got
new wiring. We have the hush mat to put in.
We have all the interior to put in.
Wiring
to put in. We have to figure out our exhaust system. We've changed headers, so we've got to redo our front pipes. We've got to redo our clutch system because our headers took us away from
clutch. Hydraulic clutch, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got to change our clutch system, which we actually didn't mock that up, did we? We were supposed to like good boys, and we didn't do it. So we've got that. We've got to replumb brake lines because we've switched all the brake system out. So we've got to replumb brake lines. That part wasn't mocked up. We still got to DB tires, paint wheels, body color.
Yep.
We got to do a whole bunch of cleaning. Now the new Moser rear that was put in it a couple of years ago is dirty as hell. All the Church Boy suspension stuff's got to be cleaned up. We've had to do a few modifications, like grinding off the old shock tabs because we don't use the stock shock towers anymore, so the shocks don't bolt here anymore. They're more like a normal shock setup now.
Yeah.
They go to the lower. They go down to the lower tables. The shock used to mount originally like a Mustang. The spring was up above the upper table, so now it's down on the lower table, up to the frame here.
Yeah.
This we've already had on the car. This has been powder coated, ready to go. We've had the upper bars on the car. We've had the inner fenders on the car. All that has to go back. I don't know. Still got to modify the front sway bar.
Modify the front sway bar.
We never stuck all the new bumpers on it and everything, so we assume they fit. But yeah, we got a big giant model car to build. So,
but it's exciting. We got all the pieces and everything's painted. Everything's good. We haven't done an update on the car since I don't think it's been painted though.
I did some little bits here, but nothing with a painted body. I don't think. Oh, full tilt. But this is what we got now. So everything is this. We got to do a little paint work on all these small parts as we go here today. We're just in the process of cleaning, so everything will be detailed nicely. She's original color. That's code 912.
With the satin inside.
Satin inside.
Yeah.
And then everything's got kind of dirty sitting around. We sort of let the paint settle. Then underneath the car is all done in bed liner because this is a driver, and all covered in black urethane, so everything's well protected. It won't rot. Get everything just set up on rags here and stands right now. So it's time to start putting her together and making a car out of it. And I'll buff it when I'm all done. And if I scratch it and I need to do any paint work, I'd rather not have put the hours into buffing. But
did you say seals? Did you say we're doing seals too?
all rubber door seals.
Gotta do all the new seals.
Every piece of rubber in a car is new.
All the seals, all the felts.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's stripped out. I think the only thing left in the car is the rear window regulators. I think every other part of this car has been taken out. So, the door catches were still in it, but we actually have to take them out because. See if you can open that. Probably got locked. You got to push that and then pull the door. These I actually left in, so I want to take those out and detail them.
Okay.
And this part too. I want to detail.
Take off all the paint.
Yeah, we'll actually blast those. We'll bead blast them.
Okay.
So all that'll look like stock, new. And yeah, the roof, we've covered it all in, I did everything in an epoxy primer, so everything is like super well rust protected for years to come.
You painted the inside of the trunk.
Painted the inside of the trunk. We did all that. I don't want to touch that because that trunk lid's sitting there with no hinges. But yeah, everything's done up really nice. I think you can see it through there. So it should show itself off pretty good. And it'll be a nice driver because we know how it drove before. So hell, all we gotta do now is just
put it all back together.
Build your big giant AMT.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. We'll come back to it here in a bit. So keeping nice care of the floor and working on the Chevy too. The thing's coming along. It's almost a roller.
Almost.
We've had to redo a few things, but you know.
The brakes come off 3 times.
A few. Now I'm still working on lining up calipers here. That's the current thing. Let's see what we gotta have for shims. And then what else have we had to deal with? Front sway bar has not been fun. We made a modification we were told to make, and it doesn't work. So now we've remodified it to work more like the sway bar they sell. We'll see if that works. If it doesn't work, no, you're gonna buy a sway bar.
We're gonna buy another sway bar. But today, well, me and Ty, we put on the upper control arms on both sides, lower control on one side, rack, coilovers, spindles, brakes. So that like took up the whole day. Well, we also were painting stuff.
Yeah, cleaning and painting. That's
we're on paint shop day.
That's the hard part of these jobs.
Steering parts, some tranny cross member, pedals on that sway bar that we're just working on fixing up.
Yeah. The problem with that sway bar, it was made for the old system where we're using the stock frame, and now we've gone to their modular frame, which requires either a modification or a different sway bar. And I called them. They either told me to do the wrong modification or we didn't listen well, and it is wrong. So I've changed it. I'm pretty sure I asked him if I could do this, and he said I shouldn't.
He said that most guys can't do it, but it sounds like you're capable of doing it, so do it. I think that's what it kind of.
When I talked about forging the end slot and
crossway,
it seemed like you told me I wasn't supposed to.
No, he said no, you don't have to do all that.
But it also seems like it's the only way it's ever going to work. So
yeah,
that's what we've done. And then, so anyway, we thought we'd have the motor in it today, but that didn't happen. But we will have, brakes all shimmed out, working right. These calipers, when you put them on, of course, they're sort of a generic deal for any Chevy 2 spindle, so you never know. I'm sure there's no way without them selling the spindles they're ever going to be able to figure out exactly.
I don't even think that's a Chevy 2 caliper.
It's not a Chevy 2
I mean,
caliper.
it's just a Dynalite.
We got in your race car.
Yeah, it's just a Willwood caliper.
But we're using stock spindles, right?
We're using stock spindles with a Willwood kit.
Yeah, they sell spindles.
What I'm saying is the Chevy 2 kit, even with their bracket they sell to go with these calipers and everything.
Yeah.
There's no way they're ever going to be able to say out of the box you're going to need X number of shims, X number of whatever. So that's why we're doing what we're doing now.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing, I also put the hush mat on the roof line.
Oh yes, that's true.
Because we might have Mr. Ivan come and put in the headliner in the next 2 weekends.
It'd be nice if he did, because then we get the glass in it and stuff.
Yeah.
And my goal here is to get this thing a running, driving car so I can actually move it into the shop. That's so engine. We need to string enough wiring in it to get the engine powered, and then we need to. We still got to put a drive shaft under it, and get our brakes plumbed and that sort of thing. And then hopefully it's runnable.
So have you already figured out your number of shims you need on this side?
Well, I'm going to try the same as the other side.
So
the other side we did 3. So I'm going to try that on this side and see.
So you got a shim between the...
well, I'm down to 2 apparently.
No.
So let's try it with 2. Which it looks like it's going to need the 3. So let's try it with 3.
Yes, sir. Have to stuff shims between the caliper and the bracket there.
And we had to flip around the brake calipers, which we weren't.
The rotors.
The rotors, we weren't aware of that until.
The nice thing on this setup, is when you change brake pads, you don't have to ever pull this off. Unless you're taking the rotors off, you don't ever have to mess with these.
No, it's like it's a Toyota braking system. You pull the pins out and take the pads
not a
out.
Toyota braking system. That's a Corvette braking system from way back in the day. The old 4-piston Corvette calipers and some of the, I think the early Shelby calipers and like all that stuff they did for Trans Am racing back in the day.
Yep.
Was this setup so they could do brake changes
Quickly.
Yeah, when they because 24-hour racing and shit, when they refueled and stuff.
They just swap brake pads.
Didn't he also do the whole like brakes come off the wheels kind of thing, like the knockoffs, like the brakes were on the wheels?
No, not that I'm aware of.
I thought he invented something like that, where basically they'd knock it off, the wheel and the brakes would come off, put on.
They did a knockoff wheel, like a spinner.
Yeah, but like the brakes and everything, then they would basically the new wheel would come with new brakes, and then.
Well, maybe
how the hell they do that? You'd have to have the caliper come off.
I have no idea.
Unless this was in drum racing days, where the drum would come off the wheel, and they just changed to a less hot drum.
Yeah, we need a cable or something though. I think you're missing the.
How's that?
Well, how are you gonna take the whole thing off without disconnecting a cable?
Your backing plate stays in place. Your shoes are gonna stay there, but then the drum.
Oh, they kind of. Oh, well, that doesn't. I guess yeah.
There's some possibility of that.
Other than that, that seems very suspect, and I'm not sure how that would work.
Well, internet, let us know. Comment down below.
That's nothing I ever heard of.
Did Todd?
Or maybe that was something he was trying to work on or something like that, because that would have been really smart.
Did you see that on the Shelby movie or something?
Sure.
On the Ford versus Ferrari?
Sure.
Did Todd create this in his mind, or is it a reality? Find out next week.
They may have had some Hollywood stuff in that movie too that was sort of. I never saw that movie yet. Everybody says it's good. I'd like to see it, but did you see it?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
I mean, you don't sound impressed.
No, it's I don't know. I don't like when they fictionalize stuff. Like I kind of like the straight goods, you know.
Yeah.
Like what's the real story, you know? And I think I was impressed with the real story enough that I didn't really need the Hollywood version. Yeah. And I, seeing fucking Matt Damon and shit, it kind of distracts me. I'm like, well, that's Matt Damon. I don't believe that.
That's Carroll Shelby.
Yeah.
If they'd given him a heart transplant, it would have looked more realistic.
No, but I guess like when I heard his story, like he was more of like, he was a snake oil man. Like he would go around selling shit. He would repaint the fucking cars and sell the same car 4 times, and like I don't know. There were some cool things about his story, but Hollywood's doesn't really take that angle, right? Like they have to get the family to sign off, so they want to paint him in the best light possible. But I just kind of want like the straight goods because he was kind of an interesting character.
I want to see the Smokey Eunuch movie.
Yeah, I want to see the Smokey Eunuch movie.
Smokey,
because he seems like the same kind of character.
Smokey was an interesting, brilliant guy.
Right.
Like the shit he came up with was incredible.
Yeah.
But I loved it. There's a race team we used to get parts from, maybe slightly cheated up parts. On his engine room door, he had a picture of Smokey leaning up on that famous '66 Revell. Yeah. I said, that's appropriate.
So it was like what? It was like 11, 12, so the same size?
No, that's fictional from what I understand. Nobody will back that up. But it was cheated to hell and back. I mean, right.
I think didn't he
3
admit
miles of fuel line or some shit like that?
Didn't he admit to narrowing a car like a few
that
inches?
His car. That was Bill Elliott's Ford that was winning everything. The one that
it was narrowed like
was narrow.
7 inches or something, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't that much, but it was narrow.
Yeah.
But no, that car was belly panned fully. But there was nothing in the rule book.
No, the Chevelle. Yeah, no, Chevelle was. Yeah.
The fuel line was 2.5 inches in diameter. Was the big thing with that.
Yeah, he held like gallons and gallons of fuel in the fuel line, not in the tank.
There was nothing in the rule book that said anything about that.
Right.
Now, when you put a basketball in the tank and blew
the basketball tank.
That okay. There was nothing in the rule book that said you couldn't put a basketball in, but
right.
Like he worked the gray area pretty hard. Yeah. But like he'd be interesting. He's got that his biography there. Sex, Lies, and Super Speedways is pretty good. But that's that'd be an interesting movie. X-rated maybe, but interesting. Yeah, it'd be fun. Well, this side's set up.
I think I did twist these tire ends too much. It just is towed in.
Well, like I say, we were going to buy a tow kit and a gauge.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Camber gauge. We haven't done it yet. We'll get it a little bit close, and we'll drive it over to that same old boy that lined it up the last time, because he knew his stuff.
And he didn't have any qualms about doing this.
Nope, he never batted an eyelash. I said, that ain't stock. He didn't even want to talk to me. He just took the car.
Yeah.
When I drove it home, I'm like, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So we'll take it back to him, because we never did line the back end up right ever. We did that with a tape measure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, when the car leaves this time, it'll be.
It drove good, but
it'll be really quite something.
Well, they wore it a bit, but not from a line.
They wore. Both of them wore.
What about the U joints that wore out on that one drive shaft? You want to talk about those?
Those are stock ones. Those are stock.
Hey, could you come down with a truck and a trailer, please?
Pick me up.
U-joint just accidentally broke for no reason. With no warning.
Yeah, no warning.
Yeah. Well, there.
Right?
We've got us a working prototype here so far. So we'll see where we go from this next time. Next time, like I say, next job. Next time we work on it, plumb brakes, master cylinder, get pedals in, and so then we've got a working brake system. Get the pedals in, get the steering column in, and we can steer it, and then start wiring. And
what of the engine?
Oh, I mean, that's a quick job.
Yeah.
That's not worth mentioning. It's all ready to go. We just gotta stick it in the hole.
Did you ever hear back from our supplier?
Eddie Motorsport and the crooked pulleys.
Allegedly.
How many thousands?
It's a good band.
It was
Eddie Motorsport and the crooked pulleys.
How many thousands?
I gotta.
It turned the run out gauge one full turn.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like a 16th of. Oh,
Jesus Christ.
And then we also had the power steering pulley, or the power steering pump shaft that was, I mean.
They probably don't make that.
No, I think they outsource that. But the pulley is definitely.
I think that pulley ended up on the CNC machine with the chip behind it. It would seem.
Yeah, or it was Friday.
Maybe. But I don't know. Anyway.
Something went wrong.
So we're going to have to either fix that or do something with it if it's that far out.
I mean, we could fix it. I mean, I would rather than.
So you just make it wider?
I mean, I could cut the groove and fix the groove. I could, yeah.
Right, but it'd be wider than the belt or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be a big deal.
I mean, stock ones are machined flat.
Yeah. It's the one for the backside of the belt, so it's not quite as critical.
Stock are all machined flat, so it doesn't even need to have that, like, cutout in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They just, I don't know.
And then for the power steering pump,
That needs power steering pump.
just get a replacement. They should replace that. Right?
Yes, they definitely should.
And then just bolt out.
They should. But anyway.
And then you need to order power steering lines,
Hose kit.
and hydraulic clutch kit.
Yeah, I got to get your the slave. I think I've got a master here, brand new in the box. Got to get a slave. Got to get the hose kit for that, because we bought those new headers, and this modular frame isn't super friendly with a mechanical clutch anyway. He bought the nice inner fenders from what are they?
Detroit Speed.
And those I'd have to butcher them to run the stock Z-bar. So the more we looked at it, I hate hydraulic throw-up bearings. Those things suck. I mean, I know everybody in the OE uses them, and maybe in the OE they're fine, but we have had zero luck with those things in race cars. And every time I watch somebody's YouTube video, they're leaking and giving them trouble.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why in the hell everybody keeps using them. But, so...
So the OE bearings are good. They're just...
Well, I think it's different use, too.
This isn't that.
But I've had a fair bit of luck there with the Vega so far. We did the slave, and that seems to work fine. So... We do that Willwood pull cylinder. Seems to work, so I think we'll just rig one of those up, same in this. We should be good to go. Yeah, so we'll get that coming. We'll should actually get that ordered so you have it next week.
Well, I won't be here next week. So.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You can continue working on it, but...
I'll probably work on that bad boy.
Okay.
I need to get that thing out of here. So.
Put the wheels on it. I'll push it into a grassy field so I can finish my 56.
There you go. That bottom grassy field.
Just send it over the bank. Like, well, we'll see where it ends. Sploosh.
I need to steal Rita's car cover and throw it over this, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on it.
I don't think she'll miss
I
it.
have one. Shit, I should have.
Of course you do, Car Show Todd.
What you need to do now with this fancy car, you need to invest in those little foldy chairs.
Hmm.
And you're gonna need to bone up on your gossip and that so you can sit behind the car at the car show.
Maybe some jean shorts,
Oh, jean shorts, I don't have a problem. I hang out with O'Neill there.
White Nikes and jean shorts, and then you can go sit at the car show.
Yeah, be all set. But this is a car show car. It'll probably get beat on like a regular car though. So.
I mean, I'm thinking, looking at it, I feel like it's going to have the technology to go around a corner.
I can guarantee it. I want to see what it does to the drag strip now too.
Really?
Yeah.